what the House and the Senate did over the last 48 hours in closing the 2010 budget gap is not a celebration. That's something we should have done 6 or 8 months ago, something we waited far too long to tackle. There are a lot of proposals that the Republican House, Republican Senate put on the table to solve what we solved the other night, and they were ignored. But there's no reason for jubilation or celebration over what happened with closing this gap. That's our responsibility to the people of the state of Connecticut. We have the next big step, a much larger step. As Representative Cafaro said, we have the obligation to close this 2011 gap. We need to do it now. We need to stay in session. We don't deserve a break. We have yet to pass a bill, other than some money bills. We've yet to pass the bill, and there's 20 days left of session. We don't deserve a break. We deserve to work hard. We need to stay in this session, get a budget done, and get to work. When Representative Cafaro said that Connecticut is not a business-friendly state, there was a gentleman, Pasco, P-A-S-K-O, from Beacon Falls, who was an employee at Marlin Firearms. And many of you may know, Marlin Firearms closed down a couple of weeks ago, or starting to close down. 265 jobs in North Haven, my town, my hometown, are going to let go. And he writes a letter that was printed in the paper, and he says, this is the third of the last 3 jobs I had where my employer is moving out of the state of Connecticut. This is sickening and not very good for the young people who live here. I even told my son to move out the first chance he gets. The politicians of this state do not care about the constituents, they care about their pensions. That's frustration. I have 3 children. I want them all to come back to the state of Connecticut and work. But we need to have opportunity in this state. We need to be business friendly. We need to change that unemployment from 9% and lower it. We're not going to do it if we look at 2011 with taxing as a solution to a deficit. That is going to raise unemployment. It's going to make Connecticut probably the most taxed state in the nation. Right now, we are only behind Hawaii. And we're going to further drive young people out of the state. We need a change. Our problem isn't revenue. Our problem is spending. Our problem is we're not thinking out of the box. Today, you're going to hear, and I want to thank the House Republicans for the lead on this proposal, on how we're putting together a budget that is going to solve the problems of 2011 without tax increases. Thank you.
Thank you, Lenny.